Hello, I'm Kim. This is Kim's Wellness Space, and you are very, very welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. How are you? Just take a minute. How are you really? I wouldn't say I was struggling, but this week for me has been heavy, and I know that I am in the mid-January, like I am feeling it. I am not going to use the word blue. I don't feel blue. Um, it's a lot of overwhelm. There's a lot going on. Um, I'm busy, which is great. Like, I love being busy, and all the things that I'm doing are really fun, good things. There's nothing bad there. But whew, the world isn't it? It is just a bit much. Um, so what number is this episode? I don't actually know. I am a bit lost with this. In December I made this really nice, pretty plan about these were the subjects that I was going to talk about in January. I was going to do a nice 8 weeks of recording, which I have recorded 8 weeks. And then they were just going to trundle along and follow each other, and it'd be all lovely. And then January has done one for me. It's like it's done a number in a really good way. And so I keep pushing back on what I've already recorded because I just get this urge that actually this is what I need to be talking about to you this week. And so yeah, this week again, I've pushed back what I had originally planned for now. And I want to talk to you about how we navigate life when it's super heavy and hard, like it is right now. Because honestly, if you can nail your health and wellness in weeks like this, and I'm not saying that anything terrible's happened, like it's not tragic, like the world is not going to stop turning. There isn't anything really bad going on, but there's a lot of stuff going on and we're all really feeling it. And I'm recording this today because this morning, if you follow me on Instagram, this morning, as in this is Wednesday when I'm recording this, I I did my reflect and reset live on Instagram that I always do, and we were talking about this. We were talking about the fact that this week seems really heavy, and I've had lots of conversations with lots of women from all different walks of background. Is that a thing? From all different backgrounds, all different walks of life. Maybe that's better, and all different ages. And everybody I spoke to in the last 4 or 5 days is all saying the same. They're all saying the noise on social media is super loud and feels much louder than it has been in the past. They're feeling super overwhelmed with their health and fitness. You know, they know what they think they're supposed to be doing, but oh, it's a lot. And we're all crying. We're all crying, myself included. I've done a lot of crying in the last week. Some of it because there's things going on that made me sad and that I've cried. Sometimes just because I am exhausted and I just can't cope with things. Like even really stupid things. So this is a nothing something. If you're crying over a nothing something, you will understand what that means. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, it's fine. But this is a nothing something. So I have been using Vinted for about, I want to say 6 or 7 months now. And if you've listened to earlier podcasts, you'll know that this year I'm doing a no by January, which is it's not actually what it sounds like. I am in a process of getting there. There is a podcast about it, but you haven't heard it yet because keep pushing them down. And so one of the things is that I want to recycle anything that I don't want in the best way that I can. And so sometimes I'm taking it to charity shop, sometimes it's going on Vinted. Sometimes I've been giving things away, which is also a nice thing to do. And I have also been purchasing on Vinted, which is fun. It's fun because it's like a loophole. I was like, this year I'm not allowed to buy anything new. And then I'm like, oh, there's so much stuff on Vinted that I can buy. And it's not new. So it does kind of fit in with my rules. But anyway, that is for another discussion. But this week there was something that I had sold. And normally what happens is it goes, yeah, you've sold. Here's your label, print it out, take it down the road, to the place where you drop it off, which is literally like a 10-minute walk. And I go in, smile at the lady who does never smiles back at me, and I hand it over, and that's it. I don't have to think about it. It's done. Brilliant. This week I sold something. I went to print my label out, and I was like, I said to Graham, that's weird. There's no label this week. It wants me to do it digitally. That's really annoying because that means that I have to go speak to the lady that doesn't smile at me, and she's going to huff a little bit more because she's got to do something. Although there is a machine in there, but the machine doesn't tend to work, or it hasn't worked yet in my experience. Anyway, so off I went down to see the lady that doesn't smile. She wasn't smiling. She did do an extra huff at me. And then she told me to just use the machine. So I was like, fine, I'll go use the machine. So off I went to use the machine, which didn't work. And I said to her, I'm really sorry. I don't, it's probably me. I don't know how this machine works. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So more huffs, more grumpy, more eye rolling. She came over and said, no, there's a problem. You need to go and speak to whoever's giving you this code. It's not right. And sort of dismissed me. And I just said, oh, okay, thanks very much for your help. Well, she wasn't much help, but thanks very much. I'll go sort it out. And I got in the car with Graham and I said, oh, I don't know what to do. It doesn't work. Why is it not working? It was just all too hard. My brain was hurting. I just said to him, I'm just going to cry. I can't be bothered. Why am I doing this? You know, the nothing thing that upsets you. And then I had another look and I was like, actually, it wants me to go somewhere else and do it. Maybe that's why it's not working. It's not the normal thing. I don't really know. So we had a look at the directions and then we were like, well, that's actually in the middle of the road. So that's not right. But we'll go down the road and we'll see if we can. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. We found the thing, a big old machine, you know the ones. You have to do the buttons and a door pops open and you pop it in and all that. But I hadn't used that one before. And so it was fine. It wasn't hard. But I did get halfway through the process thinking, I'm going to cry in a minute. And I don't really know why I'm going to cry because there's not actually anything wrong, but this is taking a lot of my brain capacity today, and I clearly haven't got the brain capacity for it, which that is quite a menopausal thing. I do find these days that some days I can read and read and read, and then other days I can't even read a two-lined email because I'm just like, no, I'm just not listening to what I'm reading. Like my brain just goes, I don't want it. It's full. I can't do it. So that was my crying over a nothing something. Um, but I think we are. I think there's a lot of reasons, and I don't want to dismiss anything because if we're feeling it, we're feeling it, and that is fine. We're allowed to. But it's like, what can we do to alleviate some of this? Like, how can we flip the script so that it starts feeling more positive? Because we know it's winter, we know it's January, we live in the UK, we know it's going to rain, we know it's going to be grey, we know the days are short. That's nothing new. It does it every single year. And maybe this year's a bit wetter than others. I don't really know. But it's January. But I think we get told, don't we? Oh, the rain's going to be awful. Expect awful rain. Oh, it's going to be flooded everywhere. Expect it to be flooded. Oh, this is Blue Monday. You're going to feel awful. Oh, this is the worst week in January. This is the week where everybody gives up and you're going to feel right rubbish and you're not achieving it. And honestly, by the time you get to the end of all that, you're like, blimey. Even if you had been feeling okay, you're now like, oh God, well, I'm just useless, aren't I? I can't make a decision. I don't know what I'm doing. I might as well give up because everyone's telling me I'm going. Oh, la, 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 la. No, let's just stop. So what can we do? What can we do? Because that is too much. So for me, I have made everything smaller. I've pulled everything back. I've let things go that I can let go so that I can just give my brain space and so that things become I was going to say easier. They're not really hard, but it feels easier and you get wins and we need the wins. The wins are the things that are going to get us through. So this morning, one of the things I said on Instagram was, let's look for the positives. You know, I was looking out my window and yeah, it was grey and it was pouring with rain and whatever, but I could see the birds in my garden. I'm nurturing my garden. I want the nature to come in and I could see them this morning, you know, having a little drink in the bird bath, eating something off my bird table. Like that fills me with joy. So just sitting with my coffee and just taking a breath and just looking and being like, "Do you know what? It might be raining and dark outside, but I am warm and snuggly in here. I'm safe. I can look at the birds. I can see how my garden is coming along. That is a good thing." So definitely try and find a positive. And sometimes we have to dig deep, but they are definitely there. They are definitely there. Um, but when it comes to our health and wellness, we always feel like we're chasing the next thing, don't we? So, like I always say, you already know how to eat. You already know how to move your body. So if you ever work with me as an accountability coach, I'm never going to give you a food plan. I'm never going to give you a workout because you already know that. You already know that. The knowledge is already inside you. And if you think you don't, you just need to sit with yourself for a minute and maybe ask yourself a few questions because you absolutely do. Because if I told you, okay, you have got to do burpees every day for half an hour for the next month, you are straight away going to be saying to me, "I'm not doing burpees, Kim. I don't like them." Unless you're like really like them, but there aren't many people that like a burpee, are there? Let's face it. So you already know what works for you, what doesn't. I am plant-based and I like eating tofu, but if I said to you you've got to eat tofu, some of you would be like, "Okay, I'll try it." Some of you would be like, "No, that is disgusting. Get it away from me right now and don't even entertain it." Because you do already know. It's just that when we open our phones or our laptops and we get hit by all of this marketing, which is so good, and we've talked about how brilliant the marketing is. But it's telling us all the time, "Oh, no, don't do that. Do this. This is good for you. That's not good for you. That's not good for you. This is good for you." And it changes. And every time you think, "Okay, I've got it now. I know how many calories. I know how much protein. I've been practicing my protein for the last 2 years because they've been telling me protein is the thing." This year, fiber. And yeah, fiber is important. It is important and it does have a place. But all of these things have a place. But not one thing is more important than the other. And that's what my whole thing about wellness is. It's all of the layers, they all intermingle. You can't be just eating protein, you can't just be eating fiber, you can't only be doing burpees. Like, you have to find the flow with all of it as a whole picture. So if you're feeling completely overwhelmed, I want you to do like I've done. I want you to really strip it back. Some days, for some of us, just getting out of bed and having a shower will be a massive win. And that is all that we can do today. And that is brilliant. And celebrate that. Some of us can do extra things, but again, we need to find them, we need to celebrate them. I was chatting to my friend Lisa, who you'll have heard me mention before from Walking This Way, this morning. We were chatting about crying. And she said, "We're just not very good at resting, are we? And it is winter and I want to hibernate." And she said, "I would just like to put a film on and sit in front of the fire and curl up on a blanket and then I'd probably be all right." And I was thinking, "Oh, that sounds so nice. I would love to do that. But I've got all these things I've got to do and it's not going to happen." Um, and that's a choice. That is a choice. And of course, we do have things we have to do. Like if your kids are at school and you have to pick them up, you do have to go pick them up. Maybe you're responsible for cooking the dinner. You do have to cook the dinner. I don't know. There are things we have to do in this world. Maybe you've got to go to work because, that's how you get the money to live in your house and buy the food. And there are things that we have to do. You can't ring up your boss and say, "I'm really sorry, I'm wintering, I'm in my hibernation, I'm not coming into work today, I'm going to sit in front of the fire and watch a film." I mean, we'd all like to, but we can't, can we? But we can do small things. So we can't worry about all the things that we can't change, but we definitely have the power to change something. So what have I done? What have I done? This is me. I'm not telling you to do this, but I'm telling you this is what I've done, and it could inspire you to go do or change something. So for me, because I knew at the end of last week that I was becoming overwhelmed with everything and it was all a bit too much, I knew that I needed to pull back and protect my boundaries and myself so that I didn't dip too low. And so first of all, I took off my fitness watch and I stopped tracking my steps and I stopped tracking my food on my app and I stopped tracking I basically stopped tracking everything. I stopped weighing, I stopped measuring, I stopped photographing, I stopped all of those things because as much as I know that they're all tools to gather data and I know that they help me along to be aligned to the goal of that I want to achieve, I also know that this is January. And I also know that by cutting all those things out, it's giving my brain a little bit of space. It's amazing how often you check your steps on your watch if you're tracking your steps. Now I've taken my watch off and I've had a few days where I'm not tracking everything, I don't even think about it. But I'm still moving my body. I'm still going out for walks. I'm still walking the dogs. I'm still doing the things, but I haven't got any pressure to achieve tied to them. And I think that is the thing. It's removing that bit of pressure. And I haven't stopped them and then gone, oh, well, that's it. I'm not tracking now, so I can just eat chocolate all day long. I can lay in my bed. I'm not moving. I'm gonna, I don't know, drink full fat Coca-Cola. I don't know, whatever it was. I haven't done any of that. I am still drinking a goodly amount of water. I'm still eating really nutritious food that I know is good for me. I'm like I say, I'm still moving every day. I'm still walking the dogs. I'm still getting my steps in. I'm just giving myself space. So if you are feeling truly overwhelmed, just pick something that you love. So say like you really love going for a walk, or maybe you've got dogs, so you might not like walking in the rain, but you know that your dog needs a walk, and so that is something you're going to do. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Just go and enjoy the walk. Go and enjoy the stamping in the puddles, or I don't know, walking in the mud, or looking at the countryside, or noticing what flowers are growing in people's gardens. Or sometimes I just look at all of the different colours of the front doors. Like there's always something to look at, isn't there? Um, but don't walk because you've got to, I've got to achieve 10,000 steps a day, so I must walk. Just, I'm going for a walk. It feels different. It feels lighter. And when you're in this overwhelm and everything feels heavy, just the fact that you can be like, do you know what? I'm just going for a walk. I'm just going to have this drink of water. I'm just going to eat this soup because it's delicious and I love it and it's my favourite soup. I'm going to go to bed at 8:30 because I'm knackered and I just want to go to sleep. Like without having the added pressure of because I've got to achieve it, because I've got to tick it off in my app, because I've got to take a photograph of it and prove it to everybody on Instagram. You don't have to. You don't have to. Like even for me, like my business is primarily through Instagram. Like my clients mainly come through Instagram. But you won't have seen me posting about walking this week or doing workouts. You will have seen stuff about what I've been eating because some of the stuff I've been eating has been so yummy. It'd be rude not to really. Um, but there's no pressure. I'm not having to perform for anybody and I'm not having to perform for myself. I can do it for pure joy. And I think when you can flick it from, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, and I don't want to because I'm tired and blah, 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 to actually, I'm just going to do this because I want to and because it's fun and I like it. It feels different and it feels like, and you need that. And if you have been someone that has been, say, on a fat loss journey for a long time, you do have to have time when you're just in maintenance. You do have to, like, and I know we had Christmas, so everybody's like, oh, well, we had Christmas. I maintained, it's fine. And now I'm back to January. In January, I've got to achieve, but you don't actually have to. Like, your maintenance can be, yes, we had Christmas, but you can maintain through January just doing these gentle things that bring you joy and then get yourself back into it. So I am actually doing a challenge in February called Nurture and Notice, and that is exactly for that reason. It's for people that want to have that little bit of inspiration and support and accountability as they step back into the world, getting themselves. And we're not revving up, we're not going for it in February because it's still winter. We're just gently bringing ourselves out, maybe opening one eye and shaking a leg and doing a little bit, just gently, gently, all the time, just gently, so that we are not shocking our bodies into anything. Because, okay, maybe if we maintain through January, say we maintain through January and February, and we don't really, make a focused point until March, Well, it's okay. Just means that maybe your goal might be a little bit further away, but is your goal stipulated to a date, or are you just wanting to be healthy forever? And if you're wanting to be healthy forever, well, there's no end date. So it doesn't matter if you maintain for a couple of months and then you kind of get back into the swing of it a bit more. You literally make the rules for you. Nobody else does. And of course, people will have something to say. Of course, they'll comment. And maybe you will put a little bit of weight on over those time, and maybe you won't. But who cares? It's got nothing to do with anybody else. As long as you are happy with what you're doing. I think the other thing that I want to say about this week, and this rhetoric that because we are deep in January that we're all going to fail now and we're all going to stop. I mean, that also is marketing. And it's not true. It really isn't true. I mean, I personally, I could really lean hard into that. I could be like, oh, yes, you can't do it without accountability. And now you've messed up because you're the third week of January and you haven't achieved anything. And oh my goodness me, you need me. Like, I could say that. But it's not actually true because you probably are achieving things. Like, I have clients at the moment who are doing all the things because they want to. And, I've had conversations with them at the end of last week and beginning of this week saying, and they all say the same thing. Oh, there's not been much change yet. I don't know if it's working. And of course, it is working. It's just that it's working inside slowly and you don't see the outcome yet. It's too early. We've only done 2 weeks. We're only in the third week. You need to be in week 6, 7, 8 before you can physically see any changes. But that doesn't mean that what you're doing is not working. It is working. If you are going to bed and getting good sleep, if you're drinking water, if you're nutritionalizing, that's not a word, if you're eating nourishing food, if you are working out a couple of times a week, your body is responding. It's just doing it all on the inside and you can't see it yet. So, if you're listening to this and thinking, oh, well, actually, I was thinking that I'm not doing very well, I want to tell you, you are doing amazing. Don't stop. Keep going because you will see the fruits of your labour. It's just too early. It's too early. And if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, I'm not actually doing anything yet, Kim, I'm just still hibernating deeply and haven't even really thought about it, that is also okay. So last week, I shared I think it was on my Instagram stories, that I had been into Aldi and I bought a mindfulness journal tracker. It's brilliant, I have to say. It's really good. I was really impressed. It was only £2.99, absolutely fabulous. I haven't actually filled it in yet. Well, I have no intention of filling it in January. Like, I do have things that I want to achieve, like personally and in my business with my body. Like, I definitely do have things that I want to achieve, and I kind of know what they are. I'm ruminating with them. I have got random bits of paper where I've written things down. Like, it is all going on in my own little way, but I don't want to start that mindfulness journal yet. I'm not doing it in January because January for me is not the month for doing all those things. It's thinking about it and like playing with ideas, and I'm reading books and I'm listening to podcasts and I'm gathering information, and that's how my brain works. And then it will be probably towards the end of February coming into March, then I will do it because then I'll be ready to be like actually setting down, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm not doing nothing. Remember all those things that I'm doing? I'm still drinking water, sleeping, eating well, moving my body, walking the dogs, getting outside in nature. I'm still doing all those things. So I haven't given up, haven't messed anything up, haven't done any of those things. I haven't failed. Absolutely haven't failed. You can't fail. But I haven't got going yet either. And that's okay. And I am happy with that. So I think that is what I kind of want to leave you with. My overall thought really is, if you are finding this time of year super overwhelming, try and make your steps even smaller. Like, and just pick one thing. If you listen to that and think, blimey, Kim, you're eating and moving and doing your steps and blah blah, just drink water. Don't have to drink loads, just an extra cup. Or go to bed 10 minutes earlier than you have been. Or put your phone down for 10 minutes earlier than you normally would of an evening. Or maybe when you get up in the morning, don't look at your phone for the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. I don't know, like make it really small. Maybe that book that's on the side that you really want to read, like maybe when you get out, when you wake up, read one page of that book. Like just make it really small and do something that brings you pleasure for the whole point of the fact that it's pleasure and you like doing it. Don't should yourself. Don't do it because you think you're supposed to. Don't do it because Susan down the road's doing it, or Karen in the office is doing it, or you've seen somebody on Instagram doing it. Like, really think about what is important to you and break it down so it's really, really small. And then just remember that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're absolutely wonderful how you are. You are not doing it wrong. You haven't failed. You are amazing. That is a really good way to end this podcast, I think. You are amazing. So, thank you for listening. I hope that rant and ramble made lots of sense. I hope you've got some inspiration now to go off and do that one small thing that brings you joy. And I will speak to you again very, very soon.